Imagine this. You're standing waist deep in the sapphire waters of Belize's inland blue hole. The jungle canopy forms a cathedral overhead, and the limestone cliffs around you echo the quiet with holy precision. The water is mountain cold, breathtakingly blue, and still as a secret. It doesn't feel like you're swimming. It feels like you're floating inside a truth you haven't named yet.
You didn't come here to think, but here you are. No phone, no headlines, no to-do list. Just breath, bone, and the big question you've been avoiding. What am I not seeing?
Welcome to the Latitude Adjustment. It's time to stop drifting and start navigating by your own inner compass. The life you're looking for isn't out there. It's in motion right now. Get ready to step off the map with your hosts, Erica and Rusty Harrison.
Welcome back, Wanderers. You're listening to the Latitude Adjustment, an Aging Heroes podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Rusty. And this week, we're diving deep,
literally and metaphorically,
into the cool, clear waters of insight. This is episode 12, Develop Insight. And it's inspired by that unforgettable day we took the Hummingbird Highway from San Ignacio to Placencia.
That road dances. It curves through citrus groves and villages that smell like wood smoke and lime. That sounds like something I just want to take a little dap with my finger and kind of put right behind my right ear. Our driver, Julio, pulled off halfway and said, "Time to cool the spirit." And next thing we knew, we were standing on the edge of that beautiful blue hole.
Now, I'm not saying it was cold, but that water hit me like a tax audit. Unexpected, humbling, and hard to explain to strangers.
That's right.
But the stillness of it, that was a real shock. Quiet, like it had a secret to tell.
And that's how insight shows up. Not when you're showboating, not when you're busy arguing with your ego. It arrives when the world slows down just enough to whisper, "Hey, pay attention." Day 11 of A Guide for Aging Heroes. It starts with the story of the bell thief. Do you remember him?
Sure.
He steals a huge bell and hauls it away on his back. The bell rings with every step, but instead of putting it down, the thief just stuffs his ears with cloth so he can't hear it.
The punchline, of course, is that everyone else still hears it. He's not fooling anyone but himself.
Right.
It's like trying to sneak off the dance floor while wearing maracas.
One word, impossible.
You think you're being subtle, but your issues are doing the salsa behind you.
That's how insight works. You can plug your ears, cross your arms, but if you're dragging something loud and clanky behind you, believe me, people are going to hear it.
We all have our bells. For me, it was anger.
You have anger ringing?
I swore I was calm and easygoing until I almost got thrown out of the movie theater for going off on a guy who was throwing popcorn at Erica.
You weren't angry, Rusty. You were possessed. Like if someone had brought out a priest, I'd have let them try.
Here is a truth coconut to crack open. Smart people struggle the most with insight.
I wonder why that is.
Because smart people think thinking harder will fix us. But you can't logic your way into transformation. You have to listen your way in.
Insight is asking, what's it like to be on the other side of me?
Yeah.
And spoiler, it's not always a beach day with a cold drink and steel drums. Sometimes it's a Category 4 emotional hurricane with unprocessed childhood baggage as the eye of the storm.
When I floated in that blue hole, I thought, this water knows who I am. And I don't mean the Instagram version of me. I mean the me I don't post about.
Clarity doesn't always arrive with a parade. Sometimes it tiptoes in barefoot, holding a flashlight and a bucket of cold water for your illusions.
Okay, so we met this guy in Placencia named Edmund.
I remember Edmund. Cool.
Yeah, he was this kind of wise old beach philosopher.
Totally.
He said something I'll never forget.
What was that?
He said, insight doesn't flatter you, it frees you. But first, it slaps you in the face like a flying fish at low tide.
Exactly. It's not always beautiful. Sometimes insight shows up with messy hair and a truth you've been dodging since like 1996.
My first real one came when a doctor told me my depression might be medical. I laughed it off. I had coping strategies.
Yes.
I had, denial.
But there it was, that ringing bell. Patterns that didn't go away. Coping that wasn't coping. When something keeps showing up in your life like it's on a cruise ship itinerary, that's a clue. All right, let's give a quick recap here.
Okay, so far today, we stripped it back. We dipped into cold water, told the story of the bell thief, and reminded ourselves that insight isn't a TED Talk, it's a tide. And sometimes it rolls in when you least expect it.
Coming up in segment 2, we'll get practical. How do you actually develop insight when you've been stuffing your ears with coconut husks and calling it confidence?
We've got your insight compass and an aging heroes challenge coming up. It might sting a little, but it might just set you free. All right, aging heroes, we floated in the blue hole. We heard the bell thief's warning. We've admitted that just because we can't hear the ringing doesn't mean our issues aren't clanging down the beach like a drunk steel drummer. Now, it's time to get practical. Let's open up the insight compass.
So insight isn't a lightning bolt, it's a lantern. And most of the time, that lantern gets lit when we slow down long enough to ask the questions we usually dodge. Like, what am I pretending not to know? Where do people walk on eggshells around me? Where does my life feel like rinse, repeat, regret, pina colada?
Those are the map makers, amigos. Insight doesn't come gift wrapped in enlightenment. You develop it like a muscle, like rhythm, like the kind of island dance that shakes loose your blind spots and your dignity, if you're not careful.
Let's talk about the 4 directions of the insight compass. So we've got a compass, 4 points, no jungle machete required here. Just a willingness to stop stuffing your ears with those coconut husks and calling it confidence. Many indigenous cultures use the 4 directions to anchor spiritual practices. Here's how we can use them to gain insight.
North. Feedback from the front lines.
North is where you ask someone who knows you how they actually experience you, not how you intend to come across, how you do come across.
This ain't your performance review or your grandmother telling you you're her special little mango.
It's not that.
We mean raw, awkward, beautiful feedback. Like, do I bulldoze in conversations?
As Rusty looks at me. Is that possible? I do that, Erica? Me?
Do I always need to be right?
Ooh, there was a mirror back to myself.
Do I suck the joy out of meetings like a sand flea at sunset?
Okay, there's a little reprieve for both of us.
For both of us.
Yeah. So ask, breathe, don't flinch. That's North.
East is all about patterns. You keep dating the same heartbreak in a different shirt, getting fired because your passion keeps being labeled insubordination. That's not fate.
No.
That's your playlist.
Right. Same argument, same ending, same apology. If it feels like life's on a loop, congratulations. You found your personal remix. Now grab a pen and map it.
That's East, where the sun rises on your repeating storylines. South, values versus behavior.
Now, let's head south. Time to look in the mirror. What do you say you value? And what do your actions actually show?
You say you value peace, but your group texts read like courtroom transcripts. You say you prioritize health, but your Fitbit thinks you're in a medically induced nap.
It's not about shame. It's about alignment. Insight lives in the gap between what we preach and what we practice.
West, what you've been avoiding. Now we're on West, the land of the setting sun and that dusty corner of your soul you've been sweeping stuff into since Y2K.
This is where you'll find the hard conversations, the unprocessed grief, the relationship patterns that make your therapist take a long, concerned sip of tea.
Avoidance isn't weakness. It's a breadcrumb trail to the stuff that still owns you. If you always swerve around it, it's probably the very thing you need to face.
Good stuff there. All right, heroes, I think it's time for a challenge. This one, it takes courage and a dash of humility, but it's going to be worth it. So this week, conduct what we call the insight interview.
This is a tough one, y'all.
Yeah. Find one person, someone who knows your highs, your lows, and even your snack drawer secrets. Then ask them these 3 questions. Number 1, what's it like to be on the other side of me? Number 2, where do you think I get in my own way? And number 3, what's one blind spot I've probably carried for years?
All right, here's the kicker.
Kick it.
You can't defend yourself.
No.
Don't explain. Don't pivot into how your ex ruined your trust issues.
Don't go there.
Just listen.
Yes.
Just write. Just sit with it.
So important.
Maybe laugh, maybe cry, but don't deflect. This is sacred work.
It's true. Then what we want you to do is grab your journal and answer. Where does this show up in my life? What might I do differently? And what's one small way I can shift this?
This is not a shame shower. It's a spiritual rinse off, a baptism with a little salt water and soul.
Hallelujah.
You're not asking because you're broken. You're asking because you're brave enough to evolve.
Gosh, and that's where we want to be.
Here's what might bubble up. That you're more controlling than you realized.
Could be possible.
That your sarcasm is a shield.
Yes.
That your kindness sometimes wears the mask of silent resentment.
I'm sitting in our studio with my hand very transparently raised in the air, just so you all can see it. Or maybe your need to be liked keeps you exhausted. Maybe your silence comes off as indifference. Maybe your hustle is just you sprinting away from stillness.
Whatever it is, that's your bell.
Right.
Do you hear it now? Welcome to the beginning of Insight.
Love it.
All right, segment 2 recap.
Let's do it. Today, here is we handed you the Insight Compass, north, east, south, and west, feedback, patterns, behavior gaps, and the brave art of not looking away.
We invited you into the mirror, not because you're a mess, but because you're a masterpiece in mid-painting.
Your Aging Heroes Challenge, the Insight Interview. Ask, listen, reflect, and be kind to the you who's learning.
Coming up next in segment 3, we're heading into the real world. How do we live with insight at work, in love, at home, without turning into a self-help meme?
We're talking insight in action with heart, humor, and humility.
Welcome back, heroes. So far, we've floated in cold water,
Felt good.
faced the bell thief within, and walked the 4 directions of the Insight Compass. Now comes the part nobody talks about, the daily practice.
That's it.
Because insight without application, that's just fancy wallpaper for your ego.
I love that. An ego doesn't need more wallpaper. No, it needs a sledgehammer and a coconut smoothie with extra humility.
This segment's called Insight in the Village because it's one thing to have a breakthrough while journaling under a mango tree.
As long as you don't get hit on the head.
It's another to remember it when your teenager rolls their eyes, when your coworker circles back, or your partner asks, was that tone really necessary?
Insight's real power shows up in your calendar, your conversations, your cravings, and your why did I just do that moments. So let's bring it down from the mountain and into your living room. No incense required.
Insight becomes transformation only through repetition.
Good.
Not drama.
Nope.
Not crisis.
Definitely no.
Repetition.
Yeah. It's not, I saw my pattern once and now I'm enlightened. It's more like I saw it, I named it, forgot it, repeated it, caught it mid-spin, tried a new move, fell down, got up, laughed at myself, and kept going.
Think of insight like a sourdough starter. You don't get a loaf in a day.
No.
You nurture it. You feed it.
It sounds like a pet.
You ignore it too long and it grows a weird film.
Definitely a pet. No.
You scrape it off, you apologize, and you keep on baking.
Insight isn't about being right, Erica. It's about being real, honest, slightly sweaty, and willing to adjust.
All right, can I tell on myself?
Yeah, please do. Public confessions are the protein of this podcast.
Oh, so a while back, I got feedback that I tend to interrupt when I'm excited. I knew this.
Somebody told you that?
I had coached people on this. I thought I had it in check.
Spoiler alert, he didn't.
I was in a meeting. Classic Zoom with too many opinions situation.
Here it comes.
Someone shared a thought I disagreed with, and I leapt in mid-sentence like a dolphin chasing approval.
You thought you were contributing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your face said mutiny, and your tone said nope.
Here's the miracle. I realized it in real time. That was the win.
For everyone.
Not that I was flawless, but that I caught it and course corrected mid-sentence. That's what living insight looks like. Fewer perfect moments, more honest pivots.
Real growth is when you mess up and don't build a vacation home in your shame spiral. Let's talk about the hardest jungle. Relationships. The people you live with will always be the best mirror and occasionally the loudest gongs.
Want to know your blind spots? Ask your spouse or your teenager or your dog. They know.
They do. Insight at home might sound like, hey, I noticed I got defensive just now. That's on me. Or I've been emotionally MIA this week. It's not you. It's me unpacking my own suitcase of just weirdness.
Your suitcase is bulging with weirdness.
And I love it.
It's not always neat, but it turns your home into what we call a growth hut. Messy, honest, and full of mosquito bites of wisdom.
Damn.
Doesn't sound great.
Workplaces are like tropical islands. Lots of strange creatures trying to collaborate without eating each other.
If you've had a personal insight, like realizing you tend to micromanage when you're anxious,
Erica,
name it out loud. Like, hey, y'all, I've realized I get bossy when I'm stressed.
Erica.
I'm working on it. Feel free to gently smack me with a virtual paddle if I do it again.
Or, Rusty, I used to assume silence meant agreement. Turns out it meant everyone was actually waiting for me to shut up. I'm learning.
Vulnerability is contagious. When you open up, others follow.
Yes.
Then, boom.
You've got it.
Culture shift.
Try this. In the morning, write one sentence, right? What's one thing I want to do differently today? Then at night, go with where did I get closer to who I want to be?
Keep it chill. This isn't homework. I also keep an insight wall by my desk. Sticky notes with truth bombs I don't want to forget just because life got loud.
That's right. Mine says, just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong. Yours?
Mine is breathe before you try to be clever and don't interrupt. Again. Want to deepen a friendship? Ask questions that invite reflection. Like, what's something you've learned about yourself this year? What's a pattern you're ready to break? What do you wish more people understood about you?
Most people are craving conversations that go beyond weather and warranties. They're just waiting for someone else to go first. That someone? It's you, little coconut. let's be honest. Sometimes insight hurts. Like when you realize you were the storm, or that the thing you've clung to is what's been sinking your boat.
But that sting, that's compost. It's where growth happens, not just in the sunshine, but in the messy, humid jungle of the hard stuff.
So what we would suggest is don't run. Stay and ask, what is this showing me about how I want to live moving forward?
This all sounds like deep-rooted courage.
It does. Yeah.
Once you really see it, you can't unsee insight.
Right.
And that's the beginning of peace,
It is.
of power, and of presence.
This feels like a good time for a quick segment 3 recap. So today we pulled insight out of your journal and into your daily rhythm, into your home, your job, and your coffee-fueled Monday meetings.
We told you the truth about messing up, making it right, and giving yourself grace in the process. We handed you real tools to stay grounded.
Next up, segment 4 is where we raise our cups, clink our metaphors, and make a toast to the new eyes you're seeing with.
It's the Insight Toast, and trust us, it goes down smoother than rum on a port swing.
Cheers to that. All right, heroes, let's lift our coconuts or our coffee mug or that chipped world's okayest human cup. We're not judging. We've earned this, not because we've reached enlightenment, but because we finally looked in the mirror and we didn't flinch.
We didn't flinch
Much.
Maybe blinked. Maybe winced, maybe whispered, "Whoa, I've got a whole salad bar in my spiritual teeth."
Oh, sexy.
But we stayed.
We did.
We saw it, and we didn't turn away.
Heroes, this is your insight toast, because insight isn't just a tool, it's a triumph, a decision to see what's true, even when it steps on your favorite excuses and tracks mud across your comfort zone.
And when you toast that moment, when you name that hard-won wisdom, you anchor it. You carry it forward. You let it shape how you move through the world like a spiritual GPS without the bossy, smug voice.
We're toasting to every listener who asked brave questions this week, to the one who texted a friend and said, "What's it like to be on the other side of me?" To the one who finally faced that pattern they've been two-stepping since dial-up internet and said, "Not anymore."
To the one who caught themselves interrupting and didn't spiral, but stayed present. The one who finally said, "Maybe it's not the universe conspiring against me, maybe it's me."
That's the moment insight becomes power. That's not self-help, that's self-honor. So cheers.
Here's your segment 4 recap. In this final segment, we didn't throw more tools at you. We raised a glass. We made space for clarity to feel like celebration, not surgery.
We reminded you that insight isn't about perfection, it's about being honest. And honesty with yourself, that's the key to the whole damn island.
So, should we keep a bottle of Inside Toast champagne on the boat?
I think we should.
Pop it every time we name a blind spot.
Hey, I wonder what that would get us.
Who needs mimosas when you got metaphors?
I know. Let's start a merch line. Mugs that say, "May contain unflinching self-reflection." I'd wear that.
And socks that say, "Stepping into my patterns."
Matching journals, no more ghosting myself.
We're building a brand here, people.
Let's build it. Get that hammer and nails out.
Episode 12 was about developing insight. In this episode,
That's right.
we started in the inland blue hole of Belize, where we remembered how stillness reveals what noise hides. That truth doesn't shout, it whispers. And you've got to get quiet enough to hear it.
We also met the bell thief throughout this episode, a man dragging a burden so loud he had to plug his ears just to pretend it wasn't there. We admitted, we've all done that, stuffed our ears, avoided the ring,
Segment 2 gave you the insight compass.
That's right.
North was feedback, east, patterns, south, values versus behavior, and west, what you've been avoiding. And we dared you to take the Insight Interview Challenge. That's a big deal.
Right.
Takes a lot of courage.
Segment 3 took us home to the village. We talked about how to live insight in your kitchen, in your office, in your conversations, and how to show up differently again and again.
And here in segment 4, we gave you your toast.
Cheers.
Your pause. Your moment to say, I see it now, and I'm walking forward a little braver, a little clearer.
That's worth celebrating. If this episode hit your heart, if it spoke to you, share it. Text a friend, tag us, and go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Aging Heroes. You can also find our full tribe at www.agingheroes.com. Next week, we shift gears because insight clears the fog, but now it's time to turn the ignition. Episode 13 is called Amp Up Your Intellect. I'm into that. We're diving into curiosity, creativity, and how to keep your brain from becoming a dusty bookshelf.
It's a playful one. Think thought experiments, brain snacks, and sharpening your inner machete without losing your joy.
Because here's the deal. Once you see clearly, it's time to think boldly and have some fun with it.
So until next time,
keep
asking, keep noticing, and keep adjusting that latitude.
We'll see you next time.